All of us want to change, but hardly anyone has the sense of urgency about it. People seem to have time for everything, but no time for looking into themselves, taking a fresh look at life, examining the way they live, and so on. It's all a reflection of our immaturity of the mind. When we see life sharply, when our observation becomes very keen, we realize our house is on fire. Therefore, advanced thinkers, advanced students of life are very eager to realize the truth. In traditional literature, sometimes the truth is personified as God, and the devotee seeks union with God and is very eager to do so with no patience. For example, Raja Kulashekara says in Mukundamala, "O Krishna, may the swan of my mind take refuge, take protection in the safe area of your lotus feet today itself, without any further postponement. For what guarantee is there if, when I postpone at the time of dying, with my throat choked, my breathing affected, I will be able at all to utter your name. Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjarantaha adyaiva me vishatu manasa raja hansaha prana prayana samaye kapavata pittaihi kantavarodhana vidhau smaranam kutaste." Prana prayana samaye, at the time of dying, smaranam kutaste, how will I be able to remember you? To presume, okay, I will think of the Lord later, is indeed an error, a stupidity. Therefore, Krishna, adyaiva, right now, today itself, may the royal swan of my mind, Manasa Raja Hamsaha, Vishatu, may it enter the safe area of your lotus feet. How come we are in a kind of darkness? We suffer from a sense of inertia with respect to hundreds of things of the world, with respect to things where our self gets gratified. We have the hope of becoming somebody, gaining some fame and name, enjoying some quick pleasure. We find we have great energy, we are ready. But when it comes to inquiring into what is life, who am I, what is it that I actually want, we seem to say, let us see another day, and so on. This is indeed strange. We must realize that a whole lot of all this is all made by thought. Somehow, we don't know what was the first cause, how it all began, but we are caught in the network of thought. Are we caught or are we catching? Sri Ramakrishna once said to a devotee that there was a certain businessman who went to a Mahatma and said, "Oh, I am eternally caught in this samsara. I don't think I will ever be freed from this samsara, this worldly existence." But the Mahatma advised him or said to him, I'll tell you something. The Mahatma in fact took the businessman for a short walk, and as they were walking by the ashram's gardens, to the surprise of the businessman, the visitor, the Mahatma rushed towards a tree and held it very tightly. Holding it extremely tightly, the Mahatma started screaming with much agony in his voice, "Save me, save me." And the businessman, the visitors started laughing. "What is this you are saying? You ask us to save you, but it is you who are holding the tree. Please let go of the tree." The Mahatma came out and said, "That's what I wanted to tell you. You say Sansara is not leaving you. Re-examine please. Are you holding the Sansara, or is the Sansara holding you?" In fact, they say the word householder could be interpreted in two ways. One whom the house holds, or one who is holding the house. So if you and I as householders are re-examining life, we need to ask this question: is the house holding us, or are we holding the house? And by saying house, it applies to all relationships: money, people, fame, name, some work, some job, some project, anything. Whenever we find we are bound, we need to ask, is it holding me, or am I holding it? Upon closely examining what is the matter with our bondage, we can see that there is something fundamentally erroneous, and that needs to be brought to an end urgently, quickly, immediately. Seeing the immediacy of the need, the rest of it just happens.